I know you're looking at a bunch of people on social media and it looks as if they have a bunch of followers and they have these cool businesses that are taking off, and you're looking at a particular artist and he's on YouTube with a bunch of views, and you're reading other articles and magazines about this person that started out a small business and now they left their full-time job and they're like a millionaire overnight. You know the only difference between you and them? You're being lazy and they're not. And in this episode, we're going to talk to you about how you can stop being lazy. Stay tuned. All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. If you'd like to show some support, you can show the support to the show in various ways. For one, if you like this cool sweatshirt, you can check it out on Amazon. Just Motivation and Confidence sweatshirt. You'll see it pop up, or a t-shirt. If you're interested in getting the book, Motivation and Confidence, Volume 1, The 7 Steps, is also on Amazon. Or, if you're into music, you can also check out the music. Motivation and Confidence, Volume 1, The 7 Steps, the mixtape, is also on the Amazon platform. So we're just Amazon crazy, and we appreciate all of your support. And if you're cheap, well, not cheap, but you're looking for a freebie, join the mailing list. Just DM me your email address or send me a message, tommydanger@gmail.com, and you can get a free PDF version of it. Or if you have a guest or a topic that you'd like to see on the show or hear on the show, also send us an email. So let's get right into it. What do we got here? I'm trying to think of a story. I know so many different people who are lazy, and for different reasons, right? So we have some people that always look at what everyone else has and say, oh man, I wish I had that. But guess what? You can have it too. But you know why they don't have it? Because they're lazy. Everybody wants the quick way. One of the problems with social media is that you get instant gratification. If you post a picture or a comment and someone likes it or subscribes it, you've accomplished something. You've done something. And the sights are feeling within you, sort of like giving you a pat on the back. You've done a good job. This is great. We like what you're doing. Business does not work like that. Okay? You're going to fall on your face a lot of times. You're going to lose money. You're going to have nights when you're tired. You're not going to start out with like a team. You're lucky if you do, but even if you do start with a team, people may back out of the original vision. Sometimes your family are your biggest haters and the ones that don't support you. Truth, right? Why would you quit your job? Stay with your job. Don't follow your dreams. We all heard those stories before. But I asked, like, what stops you from pursuing your dreams? And I think, honestly, that is two reasons. One, people don't believe. And the second, you're lazy. And I think that the laziness is over the belief. Some people will fake it and say, nah, I could do that. Yeah, you can do it, but are you willing to put in the work? So we've been doing the podcast now officially about 2 years. Nowhere near the subscription rate that we would like to see. But that doesn't mean that we stop. That means we have to re-strategize. We have to refocus. The content is there. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about helping people and putting it out there. The question is, are you willing to put in the work? Are you going to stay dedicated to your dream, to your passion? It's not going to be the instant like. I'll give an example. To set up a shirt like this that you can check out on Amazon probably takes, in real time, maybe an hour, tops 2 hours, to set up an Amazon merch account. You have to have a business entity, or you can be a sole proprietor. I represent going with an entity to separate your taxes. That's a whole nother episode. But if you have your business entity and your business checking account, you just go and you apply for it. Within like a couple of weeks, Once the account is approved, they give you templates. They let you know you can do sweatshirts, tank tops, men's, women, children. You can get it popping worldwide. And guess how much it costs you? $0. Doesn't cost you anything. Now, this is called print on demand, POD. I know a lot of artists or people with small businesses that wish that they had a t-shirt to represent their brand or their artistry, and this is the easiest way that you can do it. But how many of you are willing to put in the time to apply for the account, to get the LLC, to set up the business checking account, to do your own promotion, to design it, to put it out there? See, most people don't want to do anything. They just like the idea of it. Like, it sounds cool. It sounds cool to have a business. It sounds cool to be an artist. Or you look at something online and, a person has done a makeup tutorial and suddenly they have thousands of views or thousands of likes. But nobody pays attention to the probably 1,000 other videos that they created before that, before you reach that point. So there are times when you may look at an artist or entertainer or business and it seems as if it happens overnight. And I know this part is redundant. There are few people, with the exception, who are an overnight success, what may seem to be, or luck. But the majority of it is grinding. You gotta put the work in. And a lot of time, when we start certain projects, myself included, and you're doing it for years and years and years, and you don't see any return on it, you start thinking like, maybe this isn't the best idea. Now, it may not be a great idea. That's the harsh truth. Maybe your idea is pretty shitty. That doesn't mean you throw it away. You have to reinvent it, restructure it, rebuild it, rebrand it, position it until you get it to where you want it to be, or where the people see it as a product or service that they want. And in all the mistakes that you made before that, those are less mistakes if you learned your lesson that you'll make going forward. Like when we wrote the book. I always talk Grace and I, right? Because she basically helped me come up with the concept. I hear people say, oh man, I want to write a book. Okay. Here's what you need to do. You need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's all you need to do. You need any help, I'll show you. You go back to him a week later. Hey, did you start the book? No, I was busy at work, or I didn't have the time. Right? It's very common. And I have made a list of items that some of the excuses that people give to justify themselves being lazy. Right? Here's an excuse. Number 1, I got a lot on my plate. Don't we all? Don't we all have to deal with life and handling bills and taking care of business? Like, why does that change for anybody else? I don't know anybody on the planet that only has one thing to do and they can devote all their time to something else. Not realistic. I don't have enough time. So if you don't have enough time, there are 24 hours in a day. You have to set aside time to make it happen. Plenty of nights I fell asleep, Grace will tell you, with that goddamn laptop on my lap, sliding off my legs, about to hit the floor. I grab it, wake back up. Gotta finish this. Working on it. I didn't say, I don't have enough time, I'm tired. No, shit, sleep when you're in the bed. You get that free time, make it happen. Number 3, it's too hard. That's a lot of work. Well, if it were easy, everybody'd be doing it, right? And that's what makes you exceptional, because you put in the extra work. It's too much work. Well, when has it ever been too little work? Like, sometimes you really, think about what people are saying to you. Like, it's too much work. What do you mean it's too much work? It's work. You work it until you get the desired result. Here's the easiest cop-out. My job is demanding. I'll be at work, and when I get off, I ain't really got time. But you making time to chill. You making time to watch your favorite show. You making time to bullshit and surf on the internet. Right? Taking care of the kids. I don't think anybody should ever let their kids get in the way of what passions or dreams that they wish to pursue, because you are, with children, we are, as parents, the person or the people that they look up to in order to do just that. So if we as parents and caregivers don't pursue our dreams and show our kids that this is what you can do, what are they going to have? So you're teaching them just to be workers and to be miserable like you.
And I was, had to interrupt, but I was going to say that because I think the difference between white people and black people is that they'll be like, oh, Tommy will be like, I want to be a superhero. And their parents is like, you know what, Tommy, you can be a superhero.
You can be a superhero.
And maybe that superhero he's playing it in something years from now when he becomes an adult. And now he's playing his superhero role or whatever. But
Stan Lee.
We don't say that to our kids. We don't be like, oh, you can be anything you want to be.
Correction.
We like, we do.
That's right. Shameless plug, our daughter is probably one of the most talented 12-year-old artists on the face of this planet. And I kid you not, she is awesome. And my son is an incredible athlete. He is awesome. Both of them gifted children. But you can't ever look like I'm taking care of the kids and you're not pursuing it. Like you gotta take baby steps into it. And I know people have hit me on IG and they'll say things like, oh man, like I'm taking care of the kids, Yeah, take care of your kids and take care of your dream. Because once that light dies within you, then nothing else in life really matters. What else we got? I need some rest. Okay. I think scientifically it is said that if you get 4 to 5 hours of sleep, you can sustain for the rest of the day. And I'm going to leave that part right there. Okay? I started, but then I stopped. Why'd you stop? Because you didn't get a pat on the back? Because nobody told you that you were really good? Because you didn't make the amount of money that you wanted to make? You have to push yourself to do it. And stop being lazy. Here's one. Why don't you guys fill in the blank? For those of you who have started something and stopped, you say, I stopped because... Why'd you stop? Really? Why did you stop? I'm waiting. Write it in the comments below. Shoot me a DM. I stopped because... If you tell me why you stopped, I'll tell you why you should start again. How about that? Fair enough? Let's do that. I don't have anyone to help me. Yeah, no. When you say you don't have anyone to help you, with the internet being one of the biggest resources that an individual can use, you can search anything on YouTube and learn how to do it. So, the simplest way of doing things, especially as long as you have a phone, right? You hold your phone up and you just whoop, 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 back and forth, film yourself or set it up or take notes or research. And here's a big one. Shout out to Ryan Leslie. How about networking with people? Instead of just being on social media just bullshitting, how about looking at people who are already in the position that you're in and ask them, how did you get there? What did you do? Have something of value to offer them. Hey, I'm starting out such and such. Would you mind if I did this for you? Can you do this for me? Real cool. True story. So I'm on Twitter today and I see that this app came out and it's called something like Motivation app. It was like motivational music. When you're feeling down or something like that, we have music for various moods to help you whoop whoop. I said, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me go to the website. I went to the website and it's in beta, right? So it's just starting. The person's gathering information before they launch. So I put in my information. I went back to Twitter and I see the founder's name that was on the website. I went back on Twitter and I said, hey, so-and-so, I have this platform that's called Motivation and Confidence, the podcast. I think you would be a great guest for our audience. How hard was that? I did that while standing in the restaurant. What's your reason? You're the only thing that's holding you back. You gotta get it popping however you want to get it popping. Right? There's another thing we got here. Let's go. What else we got? I'm on a roll here. For all my lazy people. Here's the best one. Here's the best one. I don't have money or investors. which is the biggest myth of all, and it justifies a person being lazy. Because the truth is, if you have a great idea, money is the least of your concerns. Because if someone else sees that they can make money from that product or that service, they're going to invest in you. But you have to show them that it's a plan and how you can make the money. I've had people to hit me with business slides of like, yo, I mean, asking for like $500,000, no BS. And even if it wasn't $500,000, it's saying like, okay, I'm looking to raise $500,000, and this is before crowdfunding. But I'm looking for at least 20 investors to come in, put this amount in, and here's how I'm going to make the money back. And when you make your money back, you're going to make this amount plus this in interest if you give me this amount of time. And his business plan was solid. I had other people that hit me with information like that about restaurants. Mm-hmm. Yo, like, we're looking at buying this restaurant. It costs X amount to take it over. If each of us put in $25,000, here's what we can do. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's get it. Let's do it. Yo, I got this idea for this app, but I don't have money. Like, I just had lunch with this brother that I'm mentoring, and he has this dope teaching tool that he came out with that talks about finance and helping people who are in lower income situations and how to organize their money. He created it. And he's like, yeah, I don't have investors. And I'm talking to him, I'm like, yo, you don't need no investors. You just need to invest your time to develop it as far as you can. Put it out there. And once you put it out there, partner with people who can help you take it to the next level. All you need is the idea and the ability to create. Everything else will come. So again, it's lack of drive. To me, that just, it turns into laziness. Now, not everybody is driven. I get that, right? So I know of other people who are very talented and they've had their break in certain areas, and after they get that one break, it's like they just stop. Like, that's it. They don't set another goal to keep going, right? So you always have to keep setting yourself to reach another goal. And it's really a mental shift. And when we're talking about money, and I think I mentioned this before, I found this from a sales guru on YouTube. I can't remember his name right now. But it's a mental shift. And what he said was, instead of you saying, I can't afford, you change it to, how can I afford? And when you change it to how can I afford, you start thinking of the different things that you may need to do in order for you to reach that goal, right? Especially in the hood. Like, I don't think anybody in the hood has ever looked at, and not everybody in the hood is this way, but for those who are enthusiasts of sneakers, right? And if a new sneaker drop and it's like $300, it's never like, I can't afford that sneaker. It's, you know what, I'm going to forgo paying my cable bill or paying my phone bill, and I'm going to cop those new ones when they drop, even though my phone bill may get cut off for a little bit, but I'm going to have the latest on. So that's bullshit about you can't afford. How can you afford? Maybe you have to cut back on something else, stash your bread until you get it right. Maybe you have to reach out to other people to get a loan and pay them back up extra money, right?
Tell a story about life when you went to the car dealership.
Oh, yeah, this real story.
How
So
you broke it down?
years ago, my boy and I, we went to the BMW dealership down on 12th Avenue in Manhattan. And he's a DJ. And he was looking at brand new whips. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, yo, I know this dude don't work a regular gig, but he's in here looking at BMWs. And I think he was only looking at like, he may have been looking at the 5 Series. Like, he wasn't looking at no 3s. He's looking at 5 Series. And he had a little bit of money saved. I think he did. Maybe he had like $2,000 or something like that. And I'm sitting there looking at him, I'm like, yo, bro, like that car is like, it's like, you know, $60,000. Like, how you gonna afford it? And I think on the lease, it came out to something like $800 or $900 a month. And he said, yo, son. He's like, yo, son, like, let me break it down for you. If I spend 3 days a week and I make $500 a night, and I set aside at least 2 nights $1,000, yo, that's me paying for the car right there. There ain't no reason why I can't afford it. So he didn't say to me like, yo, I can't afford this car. He already had it in his mind about how he was going to get the bread in order to cop the car. And he was dead serious. Now, I'm pretty sure he has gotten all different types of cars since then, But be mindful of the company that you keep. Like, you want to be around the people that are go-getters. The people that are like, nah, let's get this. You're not going to be around people who are going to hold your hand through the process and be like, let me take you and show you. And if you do, listen to everything that they say. Yo, shout out to Love, who taught me everything about recording music. I would be tired and I would be sitting there falling asleep, but we would just spend summers like recording and recording and recording. He would just show me all the tips and tricks. So, you just got to change your laziness way of thinking into a how can I achieve this type of routine? And that routine can start with something simple. Like if you're thinking about exercising, like a lot of people at the beginning of the new year, they always get a gym membership. Oh, new year, new me, right? And they think like, oh, I'm going to start working out and I'm going to start eating right. And they always start these patterns for like the first week, right? And people always say gym memberships, they skyrocket the beginning of the year. And then by like March, nobody else is going to the gym because they try to take on too much. They try to change their entire lifestyle, all their habits in like the stroke of midnight. Things that you've been doing for 20, 30, 40 years, you're just going to change it to strike of midnight and you're going to do it. Now, some people have the drive and the discipline and the willpower to do that, but the average person does not have the ability. So you have to take baby steps. You take small steps. Again, going back to the person that spoke to me on IG, it's like, oh, I don't have time to do it. Yo, as long as you got your phone, and not even phone, as long as you have a piece of paper, just get up every day and in your journal, write what you see for your business. Start writing out your business plan. See what it's like. And when you write it down, this goes back to episode number 1. Episode number 1 talked about writing out your goals. If you haven't listened to it, go back to the first episode. The entire transcript is there. You can check it out. Write down your goals to get it popping, right? And you always have to remember that we're basically formed and shaped by our habits. So if you don't get into the habit of developing your dream and working on it on a daily basis, it'll basically fizzle away. The more you work at it, it'll take shape. It'll take form. People got to believe you. And, I just read something interesting about podcasts. Like a lot of people start podcasts, and usually after the 10th episode, they stop doing it. And I think right now, to date, is something like 150,000 active podcasts online. But of those, there are very few who continue to do it. Like Joe Rogan was one of the people who came into it early. He's probably one of the probably not the top podcast in the world right now. He does like 1 million downloads like every time he drops. Like it's just insane. And not only that, he's just a great interviewer. But imagine if he would have stopped for like the first 10 years when nobody really understood what he was doing. He wouldn't be at the top of the game that he is right now, right? So you got to keep yourself pushing at it. And a real simple thing that I like to tell people, if you're not sure about how to pursue your dreams and getting out of that lazy rut, start with something small. Again, take like 5 minutes every day. If you can't write it down, take 5 minutes to visualize in your mind what it is that you want to see and how you want it to be. And write it down, right? Stop being lazy. Get a plan. Get busy. Share your results. Starting from today. If you come back to this podcast like 30 days later, or even tomorrow, or even after you listen to it, and you have an idea that's been sparked, you don't want to share your idea just like, Tommy, I got it. Write it in the comments. Like, that's why we're here. We're here to help other people. I probably have a bunch of businesses that failed, but I have a few that are going to do all right. We're going to be all right. All right. And as always, if you'd like to show your support, again, we have sweatshirts and t-shirts on Amazon, Motivation and Confidence. We have the book, Motivation and Confidence, The 7 Steps. We also have the mixtape, Motivation and Confidence, The 7 Steps, Volume 1. If you'd like to join our mailing list and get a free copy of the book, shoot me an email, tommydanger@gmail.com. And if you have a topic that you'd like for us to discuss, you could also email me or hit me on social media, tommydanger@gmail.com, or on, IG, Tom Danger, check it out, and on Twitter, Tom Danger as well. Thank you for tuning in.